This is Dom Repta. In 2004, he and a team of 3 others set out to run the Sunshine Coast Trail on the west coast of British Columbia, 180 kilometers of uncharted running territory.
We're talking 4 marathons in 48 hours, or more than 4 marathons distance-wise. From the science point of view, we're always kind of interested, in what the physical body can actually do as well and how it responds. And there have been endurance contests where people have died. When you get above the marathon level into the ultra distance, you really start to tax, the physical limits of probably what the body can handle.
Dom's teammates are among Canada's top ultra-running athletes. The rest of the team includes Ian Jackson, Wade Repta, and David Cressman. Together, the 4 runners will take on the challenge to run the trail non-stop. The Sunshine Coast Trail starts at Sarah Point, which is accessed by water taxi and runs 180 kilometers to Sultry Bay, gaining and losing over 20,000 feet of elevation. This distance, 4 times the length of a marathon, will push the limits of what is physically possible for a runner. It may seem like a strange thing to do, but that's what Club Fadass is all about.
Fadass is a term that's been around for a long time. It was coined by a fellow named Joe Oakes, who is from California, and he needed a qualifying time in the, I think it was mid-70s, for Western States, a very famous long-distance run, 100-mile run. And he couldn't find a qualifying race. There weren't that many around, and he decided to put on his own. He called it Fadass, and his thing around it was no wimps, no whining, no fee, and the Fadass was born. And Ian has been organizing the Fadass New Year's run in Vancouver for 10, 11, I think we're going into the 12th year this year. That event just morphed into Club Fadass.
How long do you think that'll take to drive out there? I think maybe an hour or so.
Yeah.
We can take that big tree out, and that would that would take.
What a jive trip. You got to get serious, man. You're supposed to be hanging around with those fat-ass guys too long. I want to educate them a little. They don't get it. They think that they're the only fanatics in town, and they get to be fanatics.
Being a logging community, I became aware that much of the old growth was disappearing. I thought that it would be really good to save some of the last remaining patches. You have to have the people of the community on side, especially living in a community that is very pro-logging, as Powell River is. And so to achieve acceptance, we realized we had to get people to see what it is that we were hoping they would appreciate. And the way to do that was to build a trail linking these areas of old growths. I hear them snipping. They get obsessive. I don't know why.
Got beats its thing up. Okay, it's almost like downtown. Another couple of cuts. And we're looking sharp. About 92 or 93, Eagle got me interested in building trails for some, I don't know how he did it. He tricked me into it, and it got to be addictive. Like, we had about 35 kilometers of trails, I think, in this system that were already built. And so the 180, that means we built about 145 new kilometers. Remember that, Eagle?
What's that?
When we got our trail to 70 or 81 clicks.
At Fiddlehead?
Yeah, at Fiddlehead we had
Yeah.
that was amazing.
Oh, yeah. We were above 77.
Yeah.
we didn't pay much attention to the fact, but we were
We did at the time. I used to say it all the time, and then
yeah.
after a while, it turned out it was 2.5 times as long. We sort of forgot that one.
Yeah.
You know, after a while, we went,
West Coast Trail.
that's a little trail.
Yeah, little trail.
Little trail.
Just walked over.
They should never even attempt running at night. They should, even if they went at night, I think it's insane to walk. They should just get rest. Overall, they're going to be sharper and fresher and fast as hell.
Demands respect. Beautiful like that one day, and next you got to haul your ass out of there.
Chilly out. Chilly. Yeah. It is. Trail.
I'm surprised that we're up and at 'em here. Like this is really actually pretty good.
Oh yeah. You know my secret. Is it raining or is that me?
Kind of feel it.
How I tie them. Those then like. From the shoe.
Look at that marker right down here. They have more pictures of Wade looking like a serial killer than I know what to do with. Beautiful.
I've had a lot of friends that have done the West Coast Trail in speed style, and I didn't want to just do that again, partly because I feel the trail is overused and overexposed, and you know the Sunshine Coast Trail is an opportunity for us to showcase a trail that needs more attention because it is a beautiful trail and it really does have the potential to be a great hiking destination for tourists from all over the world.
Who are we going to have for pacers? And get a blood pact on what's the deal. Are we going to treat it like the Tour de France and we're going to have domestiques and one or more people are going to get to the finish, or are we going to do it as a team or die?
This distance is going to be very challenging. The feeling of being part of a team, it's motivating. You can't measure how much it is to have somebody else there to say, come on, you can do it, and keep going. Or just even to just validate, like, I feel like shit too. You should feel like shit. You run for 130K, let's go. We can still do this.
No one person could pull this off right now until we establish the route a little bit better. And in a way, we're setting two standards. I think we're really laying the groundwork for what can be considered, trail speed challenges, as well as we'll be the first to knock off the Sunshine Coast Trail.
Go team!
When you come to an aid station, especially after a really long run like that, you're a little bit wonky. Like, you're happy to be there, but, it's like you want to just get up and go. And I find, like, if I sit, beware the chair is the motto there, or the thought, because if you sit down, it's so easy to stay seated. I like to keep on going, just keep on going, keep walking or whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna start walking.
Beware the chair, Dom. Beware the chair.
Don't meet again.
And what we didn't see was all the chaos behind the scenes, because we were only there for 5 or 10 minutes at each aid station, and we were extremely well cared for.
Well, my car is packed full of everything that they would need, from clothing to food, to water, ice, just all the energy supplies that they need to keep energized throughout the run. And it's also good to see a familiar face after a few hours of climbing and descending. And Paul and Laura are seasoned veterans at this ultra running thing. They've crewed for Dom and Wade many, many, many times. So I'm picking up a few pointers here and there.
I know how much trouble it is to to organize and coordinate and just, you know, even get people to the same place at the same time on those remote roads.
And you say you got signs up at that spot now?
I do.
Okay, and I'm going to just mention that the boys are coming through, and maybe they'd want to walk up the trail and see them, you know.
I'll get here. You guys get in. Hey! Hey! Come on, man. Hey! One of those prairie chickens. That's a funny thing, right? We're rolling along. Blue train and gray train. 10K or so, 10K. A couple hours anyway.
Still on the trail.
I've been waiting to hear that. You know, I thought I'd wait 10 months for that.
Very darn late.
Come on, Pressman. Let's come in together.
I once did 2 marathons in 1 year and thought that was a lot. I mean, these guys are doing more than 4 in 48 hours. That just seems like a whole other level. I really haven't a clue whether it's going to be possible for them or not. I would think, you know, no matter how you slice it at any pace, it's going to be pretty challenging. The bottom line with these kind of contests is there's a sheer number of calories you have to be taking in to be able to do them, whether it's vegetarian or not. Now with Dom and his brother being vegan, that's pretty much the more extreme sort of category of vegetarian. If you're going to do a particular performance, calories basically translate into metabolism. Metabolism has to meet energy expenditure, so if somebody's going to run, you know, 8-minute miles, there's a certain energy expenditure they have to put into the body in order to be able to maintain that pace. If you don't, you're not going to be able to keep that pace up. The vegetarian calories tend to be a little bit lower on caloric density, which means a lot of times to meet large needs for calories, you may have to eat more. And a lot of times in these contests, it can be really tough to eat more. But I got to admit, I've heard of a lot of endurance athletes in these longer contests that can eat some pretty odd things. A lot of it comes down to, I think, just your tolerance for it as well. I mean, you'll get one person that would eat a hamburger and probably throw up 5 minutes later doing these kind of contests, and another person can eat just about anything, and it doesn't seem to make much difference to them.
Yeah, I had a beer and a burger, and I was just as happy as pie. That beer tasted so good because I kind of measured the course off in terms of beers, and that was the first beer. I couldn't have a beer or couldn't have a burger or anything substantial until you get to the shingle mill, and that's a significant point. You know, that's a 50K point. So that's, in your mind, that's a significant point.
Living in Vancouver, it's easy to run year-round on the trails and on the roads. We're very fortunate that way. The hard part is the mental part of maintaining that kind of a schedule. It's a depressing time to run because it's wet, it's dark, you've got limited hours, and snowshoeing is really it's just a whole different atmosphere. So you sort of get rejuvenated both mentally, but then physically it adds a lot of strength conditioning that you don't get on trails or can't get on trails, and just a really high intensity workout. No matter how slow you're going, you sort of have to maintain this certain heart rate. You can't just really cruise through a snowshoe run.
Panther making her way back, and Mr. Buckeye, number 334, 334. That's Dave Cressman.
Good on, buddy. Again. Off the front.
Be bearware. Heck with care. I like that.
You like that one, Jackson?
20 K left. Seem to have lost my buddies.
But this is the right way, right?
No, they didn't come by, did they?
Nope.
No, I don't know. They must have got lost. That's odd.
Wow.
No, I don't know. This is one of those little moments. Yeah, you can get this on film. Well, hey. And
Something's coming there.
No, it's not there. We never get too far apart. This is the farthest apart we've probably been. Get out. I didn't. I was just walking along the lake there.
You turned. Yeah, you can't turn out a T-junction, Ian. There's not turning
I don't know where it goes. I just went along the trail. I didn't walk along the trail. I was just walking there. I wasn't even...
Fine, when we got there, you were ahead of us, and you had to walk.
I did. I went right to... And that's where I turned right. There's like 3 or 4 little flags there. And Donna was right behind me.
I didn't wait at a T-junction, and that's kind of, you know, that's considered, you know, that's what you do. It was extremely well marked, but in any case, I took the right way. Wade went the wrong way. It's one of the only times in the whole day that went the wrong way. So anyway, when the boys caught up to me, I got the devil. So I spent the next 4 hours thinking how I was going to get even.
So we were just trying to calculate what our kilometer pace is here. Really wanted to do is give some show time. They got lost. Figured somebody needed to suffer for it, so I took the mental hit. Because I'm the toughest emotionally, I guess. Oh boy, that feels nice. Does that feel nice?
It's all lots.
I'm surprised he didn't come out of there with a fish in his mouth.
Exactly.
Okay, run, you swine dogs.
Oh, we've said a few derogatory things about your trail here, Eagle.
It's private property, so we're happy to go along wherever they allow us.
True enough.
Forest fires tend to be put out very quickly, but this one accelerated so quickly, just took off.
Fluid, I think, is a big one kind of thing because so many of the functions in the body depend on having a fairly normal level of hydration. And the one thing that we know is thirst is a really bad indicator of how hydrated you are. So if these guys just go by how thirsty they are, they're not going to get in even a fraction of what they probably need. With both the food and the fluid, they really have to almost be on a schedule of, even if they don't want to eat or don't want to drink, to be taking it in. Otherwise, you know, it may not bother them, you know, for the first part of the course, you know, even for the first, you know, half day, but it'll come back to haunt them probably in that, you know, last 12 hours versus the first 12 hours. Because most of the problems you find physiologically, they don't get better over time. Once you create them, usually they just get worse over time.
What Wade's doing there is he's just having plain old salt. This is the same damn thing, except in tablet form.
With fairly high sweat rates, they lose a lot of sodium. And what happens in hyponatremia is you couple the loss of sodium with taking in a lot of plain water. And what it can do is it can cause shifts in the fluid compartments in the body. And at the minor level, it creates sort of dizziness, kind of like an intoxication. But it has led to convulsions as well and those kind of problems.
So this is where this whole thing starts. Up till now, it's all prolonged. From here, we got 2 mountains and one bitch of a climb coming up right ahead of us right now, too.
Next hill is Confederation, 600-meter climb, well, 500-meter climb from
Confederation, it's a very steep mountain, it goes straight up. And Dave, I gotta tell you, Dave just took off on that section. He hammered it. And we're all saying, like, what's going on here? And Wade and I were sitting back saying, oh, yeah, well, whatever. Like, go and blow your brains out, but there's no point to this.
Dave's ripping it up. It's been a good domestique. Wader working it. Jackson, keeping it real.
He was still running, but you could see he was kind of, whoa, he's kind of losing his equilibrium, and you could tell he was running out of gas. And unfortunately, when we got to the bottom there, Dave, he abandoned the race there.
I'm sore. Got around the lake and we started the descent, and it's got bad dizzy spells, so we sat down.
When we were coming down the mountain, I knew Dave was done, but I said, okay, Dave, what we're going to do here is we're going to create a little bit of drama for the boys. So hang over my shoulder, and I'm going to bring you in as if you're the wounded warrior here, like totally toasted.
So I, put my arm over Ian and, sort of rolled my eyes up and up in my head and was like just looking like death warmed over.
And Dave was going, oh, like this, and moaning and groaning, and I cut into those guys. You guys, what the hell do you think you're doing, taking off on us like this? Dave almost died up there.
What were you thinking, leaving us, Jesus, Dave was close to death.
You can see their faces going, Dave, are you okay?
And I just smile at Wade. It was good.
Anyway, I got even. But that was it for Dave.
It's an incredible trail. It's an incredible adventure. It's a hell of a lot of fun with everybody. But it's not a run. It's just walk.
Then we got onto the trail again, and it was bushwhacking for a long, long time.
There will be stretches where we don't know where they're at for about 4 or 5 hours, from Inland Lake to Spring Lake, approximately, in that vicinity. That could be a 5-hour stretch where we don't know how they're doing, and it's getting nighttime. So that'll be the hardest part.
Dom likes to go fast, and we weren't going fast. I mean, we couldn't go fast. It wasn't like a Western States type race or a race where everybody's running all the time, is slogging and stuff. And right in about there, Dom started to have some grief. We had to sit down and have a little trail talk, and it was either you sit there and die or you go back and find nobody. You got to go forward because that's where your loved ones are, and that's where aid is, and that's where you're going to get taken care of. So it took a little bit of deep digging for Dahmer to, to get it in his mind that we had to go forward.
I think the worst part is yet to come. The sun is going to set, and the ridge that they have to cross is pretty serious. I think they might have to rope in, so that's going to be the challenging part, or hopefully exciting for them, because I know that a challenge is exactly why they're here. So
when I see them sick, if I see them, that's really hard. Yeah, when you see them suffering and sick, and that's a really tough thing to do.
They made up a whole hour coming from Inland Lake to Fiddlehead, which is a blistering pace, and they left on time as advertised, and so they could be here in another half hour to 2 hour. And if they do, then they're maintaining a pace that they need to maintain to finish it,
Who are the Whistler boys? Well, the Whistler boys are two young guys, Gary Robbins and Mark Fearman. When it came to picking pacers or people to accompany us through the night, they were right on it. Like, just the opportunity to come out and go out and do something in the woods with these yahoos, they were just all over it.
I think I'm probably going to head up soon, meet these guys at the top to come back down with them. They've been running for 16 hours, 17 hours now. 17 hours, so they're getting pretty tired. They just need a set of eyes and a fresh mind to take them through the night. I've gone ahead on the next section of trail and just had a look at it in the daylight, flagged off some extra sections so I don't get lost throughout the evening. And then a buddy of mine, Mark Fearman, is halfway down. We're going to catch up with him hopefully about 1:30 in the morning and tag out so that he can be the fresh eyes at that point on. Once the sun comes up, they're going to be fine. So they just want someone, basically they want to shut their minds down and just follow someone throughout the evening because they've been going forever.
Smith Range in the night, there's cliffs that are 2,500 feet, drops, sheer drops. They might bounce once on a ledge.
Hey guys. All right, bud. You know, I feel fine. Yeah, you look good. I feel fine, but I know that I couldn't do nothing out of this.
Then today.
Logistically, it's not going to happen. It's 30 hours still from here, I'm positive.
Don was done. He was done in his mind more than his body, I think, because I think he could have gone farther. And Wade absolutely could have gone farther, and I think it was just easier for him to say bugger it than continue.
Logistics of this are getting me. That's why I'm not.
What do you mean by that?
I feel fine.
You're
but
right.
There's no
You're
way
right, Eagle.
There's no way I could do another 30 hours of this. No way.
You're getting into the tough part now.
That didn't help. That was not much of a pep talk.
But I think I can finish.
Josh is not getting done until Monday morning, guaranteed. If he's got like 85 left, 80 left.
Yeah, he's gonna knock off 30 by 7 in the morning.
He's gonna knock off 10 by 7 in the morning.
I just hear that.
All right, I think he's gonna do 2K an hour.
This is your delicacy, is it?
That's right.
I think we'll get through faster than that.
Eagle, what do you think?
If the moonlight is favorable, you could be doing 2. All right.
I don't see how you can carry
Okay,
enough water.
we get lost.
Run and get lost, or hike and find the way.
Just my cab was really cramping.
It boils down to that.
Eagle came up with the idea, well, this is a gnarly bit of trail coming up here. There's some challenges with some all-terrain vehicles having torn up the trail. And he said, well, bugger it, why don't I just walk you down the trail or take you down the next section of trail to where Mark was.
You guys go the regular long way. If you imagine a bow,
Right.
and having a saw blade across the bottom.
Yep.
I'm going to go in on Alaska Pine, the saw blade.
Okay.
You guys are going to do the trail, March Lake Trail.
Right, okay.
And you'll be running a whole lot more than I am. And so I think I can help you up to Elk Lake. If I can do that, you got her licked.
One person nonstop. That was the goal.
So that's what you're getting.
We set the record, and I'm doing it for you guys.
We love you, man.
And for everybody else who's come along and pushed us on and helped us out. It's a team effort, right?
The story's just starting now. Hey, Jackson, glory's all yours.
Well, yeah, no drama, really. It was all, hugs and see you on down the trail. Woo!
Here we are, 104. 104, like we got like a 70K to go, eh? Well, still a good hike. I'm really disappointed about the other guys. Nothing surprising about the eventual time. It's like that was the plan, right? And it'll be once the sun comes out, I'll be just fine. But right now, you get wonky and suffocating rhythms. Yeah, there's snakes there. Sidewalk snakes.
Some people say, do you hallucinate after all that time? And one spot where there's these two massive old-growth stumps. They're huge, huge old-growth stumps. And I guess in the olden days, they took chops out of the stump and put big logs in so they could get the Swede saw and go like this. So there's these two massive stumps right next to one another with these faces on them that look like Easter Island statues, and they're magical. Just, and you kind of see them with your headlamp in the dark, and it's like, wow, it's like a Disney movie or something. So, was I hallucinating? No, but it was almost like Fantasia on acid to see those things in there.
Do you have them left?
Not right now.
No?
No, thank you.
Yes.
Oh, an iced tea. I might go.
There you go. Yeah, get it.
Iced tea might go. There's a saying, beware the chair. I'll take every opportunity to slack off I can.
Okay, we're on the Elk Highway here.
Are we?
Ready for a swim.
On our way. Yeah, swim sounds great.
Ready for bed.
It's amazing. Most people can't believe you can run a regular marathon, so when these guys finish and they're in such good shape. I mean, you can't never predict whether they're going to get sick or pull a muscle or whatever, but when those things don't happen and they still can, or even recover, like, you know, just like that, just like Dave's recovered so well, so quickly, it's testimony to what good shape they're in.
You know, amazing what a little bit of sleep will do.
I feel better than I have after any other 20-hour run I've done, that's for sure.
So you feel like you've accomplished something even though you didn't get the whole way? Or?
Yeah, you know, we said from the beginning we'd do this as a team, and our goal was to get one person to the end, and right now we're still on target for our goal. So, as we said, not one person could have done this from start to finish, and it took 4 of us to get someone that far. So we're just pulling for Ian. He's gonna finish.
Would you bet that he'd be the one to get this far?
Yeah, he's the only one stupid enough to even want to go this far. You know, we're stupid, but then we become realistic. He just doesn't become realistic.
Yeah. So he's still got a bit of a mountain to do.
Yeah, he's got a long climb, 4,200 feet.
Talk long enough.
It's gonna be a killer.
There we are.
Forrest carried me. Hey. Forrest.
Good old Mark there, he got stuck in the woods for God knows how long. You know, when we got there, we found him, we're hooping, and you know, hear a hoop back, yeah, he's alive, and he's still there. Well, it turns out, you know, there he is with his t-shirt on and his shorts on, and kind of smiling, hey guys, love you, glad to see you.
Under a tree the whole night. Just
You didn't have a sleeping bag?
eating alive. Every 2 seconds.
He froze to death, and yet he was still full of piss and vinegar and ready to go. And that's the Whistler boys. They were so helpful and so enthusiastic. They got us through a difficult section. God knows how long that section was. I think it was like 36K or something like that, where we didn't have any other access.
That's what I think it is.
I hope that's not a wolf.
Yeah, exactly.
He's learned how to speak English.
I don't have any cramping. You know, they're part of the family immediately after that.
In decathlon, what they used to say is day 1's for the boys and day 2's for the men. Right? And you can get through the first day, but by God, the second day is the one that kills you, because it's technically tougher and ornery, and you're tired and you're beat up, and you know.
Yes.
Right? And that's the hard part.
What do you guys think his chances are now?
I have no clue. I mean, I think he's mad, you know, and he's mad enough to do it. He's mad enough to do it.
Definitely. Definitely. He's
You
going to
know,
give me a sore, but I bet she's going to have a smile on his face.
I wouldn't be surprised, but you know, at the same time, this is about the 3/4 mark, and even doing 3/4 of it sounds like, you know, hey, what's a big deal? But hey, 3/4 of it, we did it in 9 days, you know, 20 clicks a day, and we thought that was pretty good, you know, no big deal. We're not runners, and we don't care to be, but 2 days, holy moly.
By that time, we were a machine, and Gary had learned a whole lot, too, about what this trail running stuff's all about, because, you know, all things considered, he hadn't had that much experience. So we had some ups and we had some downs. He pulled me through the whole thing, and it was a very sad moment, I have to say, when Gary had to go and Wade picked up the baton.
16 hours, have you ever run that long?
Not even close.
Kicking some ass, taking some
And
aim.
we've got a navigator along this time. Excellent.
None of us are ready to keep
Definite
going.
learning experience.
Yeah, good.
A definite learning experience.
It's a strange place I live in right now in my mind. We're a team, and it was nice to see Wade again. Just to have Wade back, to see he's in good shape and all that, and to have him with me was just really, really nice.
So we're 154 in, so 17K. 17K straight up? Yeah. No, apparently it's a really nice graded climb.
Right on.
Any autograph?
Pardon me?
Any autograph?
They just look like
learned that Eagle had made the trail the way he made it to try and incorporate as many of these remaining old growth groves.
This is what they used to refer to as the jungles at the turn of the 20th century, and like 1910s or even earlier, when the people, the hand loggers, were making an impact on this area, 1,000 feet up from the water. They left their impact on that rim.
But we went through a couple of old growth groves that were flagged and numbered, which really is bad news, because that means probably the next time somebody goes through there, or in the not too distant future, they won't be there anymore, and that's a tragedy.
And in the afternoon, I was thinking, okay, it's now over the predicted 36 hours. Something has gone wrong. They're not, I knew they're not in, otherwise I would have gotten a phone call.
Mainly a way to keep us busy while we wait, but also to honor our friend who's pushing on, as we could not. And worst case scenario, nice little memorial. Oh, mighty Ian.
You're not worried.
Oh, mighty Ian. We bring you forth to us from the forests above.
We're not there yet.
No, I know, we're not there. We're gonna get to home. We're gonna get to home, man.
Loving you. Waiter doesn't love me good.
Doesn't love you good. Any way you wanted it, eh?
The phone rang a few times that afternoon of people asking how he's doing, and I always ran to the phone thinking it was him. So when the phone rang and he told me that he's still running, it's like, okay, and how far, how long? And he told me 11K.
Bist du laufen?
Ja, I am near death. I am.
Ja, aber das war 45 Stunden oder so. Ja, ich bin ziemlich müde.
Because I told him, well, you can walk it. 11K, you can walk it, you can do it.
She said I could walk. Tschüss.
And then when I hung up, I was like, okay, is he walking or is he running? Is he limping? Is he crawling? What is he doing? How fast is he moving?
This is legendary Canadian ultra running history.
Yeah, Al Howard ran across Canada.
I think it's phenomenal. Kid deserves a medal.
Thank you. Thanks for the lunch, Jäger.
He's outgoing, enthusiastic, energetic. His license plate is excess energy. And I always, when people figure it out, I always said, it's my husband's excess energy, it's not mine.
No,
Have you ever seen a psychologist for your problems, Jensen?
Psychologist, but
That's the first time I've ever seen him hesitate to answer something.
no, I wasn't sure of the question. No, I've
been asked that
actually
question
been to
before.
I've been to the medical guy there, and I've actually done the UBC. I was a guinea pig up there. Let's get ready. Do it. That's all there is to it.
Most of the guys in these kind of contests just seem to gravitate to doing it. But certainly, you know, to be able to go when you're going 24 hours a day and you know you're not going to be stopping, I mean, there's some mental challenges. It's a certain personality that they have that's probably geared to this.
And it was getting darker and darker, and when you get into the woods there, on some of these sections of the road, you had to turn your headlamp on. And we started to run, and we ran as fast as I have run in years on a trail, like full on, crazy, just flying down these trails, because they were nice and they were runnable.
you know, have a nice dinner and go out to meet some friends, see a movie. And fucking Jackson, he'd be out there running all night. What a fucking goofus. Yeah.
And that was it. I don't know, probably 103 or 104 miles into it. I did not want to run in the dark by that time. My equilibrium was gone. It was shot. Somebody said, that's it, that's the finish. And I could see all these cars with their lights on. I thought, holy smokes, this is it.
There it is, man, the tape. Woo! The tape.
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
Nice work, boys. Yeah. All right, how'd it go, guys? Yeah, Jackson. Man, amazing. You are the man. You're the man. That is amazing. Oh boy. SCT 112. No, we've decided to rename it.
Good work. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
problem.
Thank you.
Hey, come on.
43.50, eh? 43.50.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. 44 hours.
44 hours.
44 hours.
Thank
eh?
you.
Boy. All right. All right.
Woo!
Nice work, boys. Hey, thank you, everybody.
And I can just remember sitting there and thinking, it's over. It's done. That's it. I can maybe go to sleep.
And we just flew down that whole section, just do.
That was pretty high testosterone, I gotta
That
say.
was just
I was
unbelievable.
worried at any second now. This
Whoa.
somebody's gonna get hurt. I got a barley sandwich here.
But it was certainly a team effort the whole way, and that was special. That was special, and that was very different from most of the other things I've ever done.
It's unbelievable. That's for sure. That's definitely one of the greatest ultra running feats. I don't know, probably ever. I don't know, maybe ever in the world, but definitely Canada. That's unbelievable. It's a long time. 43 hours, 50 minutes. It's a long time. It's a long time to be running. That's all there is to it. You did a great job.
It's been super being with all of you here, being part of the team.
This is tops in my book now. I can't think of a harder trail, and for someone to gut it out, to me is inspiring and amazing, and I have a lot to learn about running, that's for sure. So he's a motivator for all of us now, and I think he's set a standard in Canada that he's probably one of the best runners that we'll see and have seen in a long time.
I like the idea of doing things a little bit different and being the first one to do it. That's my challenge. That's our challenge as this particular team. So we done it.